This is the fourth of a series of 6 short videos entitled Blooming Marvellous, through which we lift the latch and step through the garden gate into some of Tenterden's loveliest gardens. This is our little tribute to Tenterden Horticultural Society and to gardeners everywhere. Today we visit Nutfield, the home of Jan and Richard Parsons.
My husband Richard and I moved to Tenterden some 13 years ago, leaving a much larger garden in Marden. There was very little worth saving, so we cleared the ground and started from scratch. Our house unusually sits in the middle of the plot, and the garden is quite intensively planted. I like the cottage garden look, and we try to have flowers for bees and other insects, flowering as long as possible, and trees that have berries for the birds. We have several bird feeders, and there are so many baby birds in the garden at the moment: blue tits, starlings, dunnocks, great tits and sparrows. They are a joy to watch and very entertaining. We have raised beds in the front garden, built because we could not lift a large number of huge slabs we found buried in the back garden, so we smashed them up and built the beds. These are colourful for many months with alpines and succulents. We have just installed a gravel garden at the front which gets a lot of sun and is easy for me to access. The rear garden is quite shady and we have all the woodland shade-loving plants here. We have a small lawn which Richard loves, as it takes longer to get the mower out of the shed than mow the lawn. We also have a wildlife pond absolutely full of tadpoles at the moment. I heard a rustle a few evenings ago, shone a torch and saw to my delight a hedgehog. We try to garden for wildlife by leaving tidying up until early spring and having an untidy area at the back next to a wildflower patch. We also have several log piles and a bug hotel to encourage the insects. We have a vegetable garden and a fruit cage which gives us some delicious produce. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis over 20 years ago, and I now cannot walk without crutches or a Zimmer frame. I used to love active pursuits which I now cannot do, so my garden has become more important than ever. It is my world, a chance to get gentle exercise as I potter. It keeps my brain active, planning how to make it more beautiful. I always have a to-do list. I know every plant, and as the seasons pass I cannot wait to see old friends return. The joy I get from my garden is unbelievable. This year an iris appeared which I thought I had lost, called Sweeter Than Wine. She is so beautiful I almost cried. As a committee member of Tenterden and District Horticultural Society, gardening gives me the opportunity as part of a group to help raise money for various charities. This gives me a wonderful sense of fulfilment and achievement by splitting or growing plants from seed, which in itself is an amazing thing to do. It is now a recognised fact that gardening is good for our health, and it is fun to be part of such a group of like-minded people. The Society gives us a platform for learning about the care of plants, new techniques and ideas, and resolving problems, and also provides great pleasure. The world is such a sad place for many people at the moment, and I know how lucky I am to have such a wonderful, peaceful space and a wonderful husband who kindly helps me more and more.
A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 40, verses 1 to 8. Someone is shouting, "Clear a path in the desert, make a straight road for the Lord our God. Fill in the valleys, flatten every hill and mountain, level the rough and rugged ground. Then the glory of the Lord will appear for all to see. The Lord has promised this." Someone told me to shout, and I asked, "What should I shout?" We humans are merely grass, and we last no longer than wild flowers. At the Lord's command, flowers and grass disappear, and so do we. Flowers and grass fade away, but what our God has said will never change. Beloved Creator, coming to your greenness is always a coming home, a time of peace and grace as the unimportant in me falls away, and I know again that bright green shoot of my own beginning, which comes from you and is one with you, bright and beautiful God. Amen.